Hello everybody, welcome to Wondrous Waters. Today, we'll be going over 11 tips for traveling solo. Be sure to stick around for tip number 11 because it is one of the most important factors when planning for a solo adventure. Subscribe to the channel to get regular travel advice and to learn more about different destinations. Now, let's dive into tips for traveling solo. The first tip we have for your solo trip is to learn how to be more social. Traveling alone allows you to meet many new and amazing people. For many people though, the hardest part is actually meeting these people. If you're staying in hostels, it can be relatively easy to meet new people. We recommend getting comfortable walking up to people and trying to start a conversation. Don't be afraid to ask them questions or to just introduce yourself. Quite often, you'll find that most travelers are looking to meet new people just like you. Keep this in mind as you try to make some new friends. Another great part about staying in hostels on your travels is that it is not uncommon for other travelers to approach you. As we mentioned earlier, most travelers are looking to meet new people. Being more social will greatly enhance your travel experience. When you meet new people, you learn new ways to travel, and you may experience new things that you never previously thought you would. It may be daunting to meet new people, but it is often one of the best parts about traveling. Our second tip for solo travel is to be flexible. Being flexible on your travels can make or break your trip. Here at Wondrous Waters, some of the best experiences we've had while traveling came from moments of spontaneity. We do recommend having a general itinerary for your trip, which we will cover later in this video, but we also believe that being flexible is very important. You may get to your destination and realize that you want to spend more time in one spot than you originally planned, or you may want to travel with a new friend to a different city. It's good to allow yourself the freedom to go on the occasional spontaneous adventure. This is not only a good idea for the larger trip you have planned, but also for the smaller day-to-day activities. Maybe you meet a group of people who want to go to a different restaurant than you had planned, or you find a last-minute hike that you want to take. Being flexible with your plans just might lead to you having an amazing experience. Tip number 3 is to document your travels. Solo travel can be the most life-changing and even life-enhancing experience a traveler will go through. It is important and sometimes pretty fun to document your travels along the way. There are many different ways to document one's travels. One of the most common ways is to simply take pictures and record videos. Don't hesitate to take a picture of your next meal or to ask your fellow travelers to be in your next selfie. Pictures and videos will be a great way to remember your trip for years to come. They are also great ways to share some of your experiences with your friends and family back home. Another great way to document your travel is through journaling. We highly recommend taking a journal and using it to write about your trip. What you choose to write about is up to you. You can write about the experiences you were having, the emotions you are feeling, or you can just plan out your trip itinerary. In the end, you'll be very glad you took the time to document your travels. The fourth tip on our list is to research your destination before you leave for your trip. This may sound like a little bit of a contradiction to tip number 2, but let us explain. Flexibility and spontaneity are crucial while traveling solo, but you will be able to enjoy your trip a lot more if certain aspects are planned out in advance. Plan things like flights, accommodations, and finances. This will make your trip less stressful, and it will leave you more time to make the most out of your travels. Depending on how long your trip is and where you're planning to go, you will want to plan out how you are getting to your destination and where you want to stay for at least the first few days, if not a week or more. This allows you to get in the groove of traveling and to plan out where you want to go from there. You also may want to know where you're planning to fly home because this can save you a lot of money. We will talk about finances later in this video, so be sure to stick around. Tip number 5 is to take safety precautions. This tip is the most important tip for us because we want you to stay safe while you travel. We can make an entire video on safety tips while traveling solo. If this is something you guys are interested in learning more about, then be sure to let us know in the comments. To stay safe on your trip, make sure someone back home has a copy of your travel itinerary and knows where you are at all times. Keeping in contact with somebody back home is always a good idea and can bring you both peace of mind. We also recommend keeping a small stash of cash with you while you travel. Around $100 is usually enough in case of an emergency. It is good to keep this money locked up in a safe back in the hostel or hotel. Another safety tip is to constantly be aware of your surroundings. If you go out at night, be sure not to drink too much and try to go with a group of people so you can watch out for each other. Make sure to be careful on your trip so you can stay safe and have fun. Number 6 on our list of solo travel hacks is to buy a local SIM card for whatever country you are in. If you plan to travel to a different country, buying a local SIM card can be very useful. The main use for a SIM card is using maps on your phone. This can be especially useful when you first arrive in a new city, or you're trying to tell a taxi driver where you're trying to go. It can also be nice to connect to some social media platforms while relaxing outside of your hostel or hotel. As great as it is to disconnect from the internet and social media, sometimes it's nice to connect to your friends and family back home. The cost of a SIM card varies depending on what country you're in and how long you plan to stay. It is not uncommon to find a SIM card that's under $10, but they can be around $50 or more depending on the country and the data plan you plan to get. Our 7th tip on the list is to be more confident. Appearing more confident can help you look less like a tourist. Looking less like a confused tourist has many benefits when solo traveling. One of the benefits of acting more confident than you actually may be is that people are less likely to give you a hard time or try to rip you off. Sometimes when you're traveling, people may try to charge you extra if they know you're a timid tourist. Appearing more confident makes people less likely to try to charge you more, or to even try to mess with you in any way. Another benefit of acting more confident is that it can help you to actually become more confident. Acting confident can sometimes trick your brain into thinking you are as confident on the inside as you appear on the outside. Being confident while solo traveling will help you to better enjoy the experience. Also, the longer you travel, the more confident you'll become. Tip number 8 on the list is to be sure to let yourself splurge at least once. We are firm believers in budgeting out a trip before you leave, so you can go to all the places you want to go. But we also feel that at least one extravagant splurge should be allowed on your trip. Splurging on your trip can mean many different things. It can be an expensive hotel for a night, it could be a last-minute flight to a new place, or it could be a guided trek up a mountain. The possibilities are endless, and we believe that at least once you should try to buy yourself something nice. When solo traveling, this will give you something to look forward to, and it may even be a great way to meet new people. One way to make this possible is to make sure you have some money left over in your budget before you leave. This way, you will not hesitate to spend extra money when you find something that suits your interests. Number 9 on our list is to take classes and walking tours as much as possible. Many hostels and hotels offer free walking tours of the city, and some may offer very affordable language classes. Taking these tours and classes is a great way to not only meet people, but to see more of the city you're staying in and to learn some of the local language. Traveling alone can be lonely and a little bit scary. Going on a free walking tour or taking a language class will help you to become more comfortable in your new environment. Tours and classes are a great way to see places that you've never seen before, and they're a great way to learn a new language that can open up an entirely new culture. Do not just limit yourself to free walking tours or language classes. There are many classes out there, such as dance classes, cooking classes, and many different guided excursions that can greatly enhance your travels. The 10th tip on our list is to pack lightly. Airports, bus stations, or train stations can be pretty stressful. The last thing you need while traveling is to worry about carrying around multiple bags or trying to fit everything you belong into 1 or 2 bags. Overpacking for a trip can be very easy to do. Be sure to do plenty of research to find a good quality backpack, duffel bag, or suitcase to take with you on your adventures. It's also important to research the climate of your destination before you leave. The time of year you're traveling can also have a big impact on what you should pack. We recommend trying to stay somewhere that has laundry facilities about once a week or so. It can also be helpful to find the local dry cleaners, or to even bring some soap of your own so you can wash the occasional shirt in the sink if needed. This will allow you to pack less and have less items to worry about while you travel. Tip number 11 is to have a planned budget for your trip. Having a budget can help you to alleviate stress, and it lets you enjoy your travels instead of worrying about money. When planning for a trip, it is best to have a set price for the entire trip before you go. To stay under budget, know exactly how much you have to pay for flights, accommodations, food, and excursions, because these will be your largest expenses. One way to save money on your trip is to choose a more affordable country. For example, going to Indonesia may be a little bit more affordable than going to Italy. Another tip for saving money on your next solo adventure is to try to travel in the shoulder season, or the time between popular travel months. Knowing that you are saving money on your trip makes the whole experience that much sweeter. Having a good budget allows you to focus more on your trip and the experiences you're having, rather than worrying about spending too much money. We hope you found these tips useful for your next solo adventure. Be sure to check out this video to find the best gifts for a fellow traveler. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.